And welcome
Welcome back.
welcome back to another episode Beyond the Streams Weekly Tech News. Some of you guys like gaming, some of you guys don't care for the gaming, some of you guys are here just to listen to our BS. So
Well, I got it a little bit well-rounded, so hopefully it encompasses everyone today. There's different articles from all different fields of gaming. So if you're an old school gamer, new school gamer, PC gamer, whatever, we'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. So either way, there's a little bit of a gamer in all of us. And there's some people that are like, I'm not a gamer. And then once we get them into a game, they're like, damn you, Rohan.
Rohan.
I know Flick Chick keeps yelling at me saying, I can't believe you got me stuck into this heyday game. But hey, sometimes it's fun just to, play something and just get your mind off of the busy day of life,
For sure. I thought I would start it off with Free Guy. And I know it's not gaming particularly, but today it comes out in theaters and it's not released streaming right away. So if you're looking to stream it, you may have to wait a little while. It's not coming out on HBO Max, but Free Guy is a movie with Ryan Reynolds, and he plays a non-player or non-playable character, NPC. So can you give us a little bit of an idea what an NPC is?
Non-playable character is somebody. It's typically like if you're playing the game and you're walking around and you go talk to somebody, you can't play them. They're just there.
They're like AI bots. They're like the people
Yeah.
you would fight when you're playing, I don't know, what is that game? GTA.
Yeah, they're just there. Sometimes you could talk to them. Sometimes you could pick a fight with them. Sometimes, like, it could be like an audience, or I don't know,
Something random.
yeah, somebody walking down the sidewalk and a crowd of people. It's just non-playable characters is what it is. Just you can't do nothing. They're just there.
They don't really do much. They don't account to the storyline much. So the main character, I guess, in the Free Guy video game is a really buff version, CGI version of Ryan Reynolds. Like we showed him on a live stream recently and it looked hilarious. I can't wait to see this movie. I might even go to the drive-in this weekend and go check it out. I'll have to see because I know it's going to be raining, I think, today, but we'll see how the drive-in goes. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because he's in Fortnite.
Wait. Hold on. He's in Fortnite right now? Like, I can go buy him right now?
So the Free Guy gets a paid Fortnite skin. You can get the buff version of Ryan Reynolds. And you know what? If you want to see what it looks like, if you guys are watching the video, I will put it up on the screen so you can see.
I'm pulling up Fortnite right now.
There he is.
What the hell?
So I thought you might like it because I know for sure you got the LeBron James one because there was a LeBron James Fortnite skin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have the LeBron James because you love him so much.
Screw that fool. I got no LeBum James. How do I go full screen on OBS?
What do you mean? You want to add it to the...
Yeah, just in case Fortnite installed, update, okay.
You're actually installing this right away.
Oh no, there's an update going on right now. Okay, here we go. So how do I full screen my OBS so we could show it, just in case anybody's curious?
Just right click and go full screen and then pick the monitor you want to go full screen on.
I think it's this one. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm very curious to see. So I have my PS4 upstairs. People are gonna be like, "Why do you have a PS4?" You know what? It's not cheap to get a PS4 right now.
PS5, PS4?
No, PS4.
Oh,
It's really hard to find one, and when you do find them, they're not cheap.
right.
people are just, I don't know if because they're just because it's hard to find a PS5. People want to play on a PS4. I still got my PS4, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it upstairs. If I'm in the office working and I just want to take a quick break, I'll just turn on Fortnite or whatever. But yeah, I got my PS5 downstairs on my big TV. Anytime I'm reviewing like headsets or anything like that, I'll throw it on the PS4. And yeah, here it is.
So if you're looking for it, this is called the Dude Skin. And apparently you can also earn a good guy emote. I don't know what that means, but I think good guy is something from Free Guy. So what's an emote inside of Fortnite?
Emote usually is a dance. Sometimes you could throw like a little happy face or something like that within your hand and stuff. So a couple things. So this is like an emote.
Okay, all right. So it's like a dance.
Yeah, it's like a dance. You could
Extra
either
dance.
if you don't want to dance, you could do like one of these things. Like here's Thor. They'll throw like little stickers.
Oh, you throw stickers up. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how do we find the dude?
I'm going to the item shop. The dude. All right, let's go to the top. There he is.
So
Dude.
What is that in real dollars? What's 1,200 Fortnite V-Bucks things?
1,200 V-Bucks is about
$10?
8, 9, almost $10. About $9.
Okay.
Kind of expensive, huh?
So the emote is Ryan Reynolds' voice saying, "Don't have a good day, have a great day."
So this is what I do. I normally come here and I start just looking at skins just to see if they're any good. Birthstone backpack. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see. Pokey. And you can't hear the sounds, huh?
No, I can't hear the sounds.
How do I, I've had issues with my OBS where I cannot capture the sound.
You should just be able to move the slider for your input.
I'm gonna need your help on this one. Oh yeah, like check this out. They got Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, cool.
Look, they got Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande.
Sport. They have like characters. Like here's the Joker. They have like tons of stuff here. It's so he has his dude skin, but there's no sounds yet. So maybe it'll come out later.
Maybe. It says that it's going from now until September the 6th, and that you can go around the world and there's quests for players to complete, and you can earn the emote, the Ryan Reynolds voice saying "Have a great day" or whatever.
So how do I get? Okay, here's desktop audio.
Oh, you're in OBS now.
Properties. I wonder if you'll hear it from this. Do you hear anything?
I don't think so.
No. Let's see. Realtek.
No.
It shows that there's something happening. And they're still going.
I'm not sure.
So how do you control the audio?
Something's going there. Is that me talking?
No, that's this audio.
Click on the little cog wheel underneath it.
Actually, that is you talking.
That is me talking, right?
With a little cog right here.
Scroll down on that one. Yeah, that right there. Yeah, scroll down.
Video capture device, nothing.
Click on the cog wheel there. I can't see it here because it's too.
Properties, you think? No, this is the actual capture device. So this is this thing. So there's configure video,
Scroll
crossbar. Huh?
There should be an audio section here. Scroll down.
Audio output, capture audio only.
Click on that.
Output desktop audio. Do you hear anything?
No.
Let's see.
No, I don't hear anything. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Whoa.
What was that?
There we go. Can you hear anything?
No.
I could hear it. Can you hear that?
Negative.
Dang. I don't know. Oh, here's a Roadcaster.
No.
I wonder if whoa. Echo. That was pretty cool.
We'll figure that out after the stream.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So this is the nonsense that we were trying to mess with, but there you go.
Okay. So I thought I would start off with that because, like I said, the movie comes out today. Some people might be interested. So you can get the Fortnite skin for 1,200 V-Bucks. Works out to about $9 or $10. And as you complete tasks, you can unlock the character's voice that says don't have a good day, have a great day. But it is a movie I plan on going to see. It is a movie I plan on going to see. Now, speaking of, yeah.
I definitely want to see it too. Turning off the PlayStation. Yeah, I definitely want to see it too. I'm very curious on it, so I want to see. So okay, so you know how I feel about the Deadpool movies.
Yeah, you're not like I love them. You're not excited about them whatsoever.
Here's a fun fact. I'm not a big fan of Ryan Reynolds either.
Is it because he's Canadian?
Is he?
I think so.
Well, I like you.
Well,
I like you, so not all Canadians are bad. Blue's Canadian. I like Blue.
Yeah, Blue's cool. Blue's cool.
Canuck Mark is cool. Blamo's cool. I'm trying to think what Mibson's cool. Preppy's cool. See, I got peeps. I got peeps in Canada. I don't know. Something about Ryan Reynolds. He always looks like he's cross-eyed.
You know why you don't like Ryan Reynolds is because his beef with Wolverine.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Just something about him. I'm just like, it's kind of like what's his name? Ben Stiller. I can't stand him. Or Owen Wilson, another guy. I can't stand him. But if you put them in the right movies, they're okay. They're good. Like Owen Wilson in Loki is actually really good. Like, I think he does a really, really good job in that movie.
Yes.
Owen Wilson in Meet the Fockers is annoying. But that's the way they made his character.
Yes.
But you know how he does this whole thing with like I don't know how he talks like this, and you know what I mean? Like when you put that into, what is that one with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson that they're skaters?
No idea.
Oh, I forget what the movie that was, but it was just annoying to the 10th level. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't stand it. And Ben Stiller's kind of like the same way, unless he's in the right movie or in the type of movie, he could be annoying too, you know? So, I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is kind of the same to me a little bit. I don't know. I know people were like, "Oh, he's so cute because he's buff." Whatever. What else you got?
So,
Two.
Rockstar is reportedly remastering its PS2 era Grand Theft Auto trilogy. So if you want NPC characters, this is what I think of when I think of NPC characters. You go around and you just disturb all the NPC people. You run them over, you fist fight them, you punch them in the face, you do all kinds of crazy stuff. You pick them up in their car, you throw them out of cars. So this is what I think of when I think of NPC, like the epitome of NPC characters.
This just annoys the crap out of me.
They need a new one. Why are they remastering the old ones?
Exactly. People have been waiting for Rockstar to make a new Grand Theft Auto, but it's almost like they don't know what to do. And it's just like, dude, I know your games were like the same shit over and over and over again. You steal a car, you shoot somebody, and you run away. It's like, why can't you
Theme it.
Yeah, like, you know, it'd be really, really cool. And I think they started to do this where you can go online and play with other people. They need to do a whole world on that. Actually, maybe they shouldn't because people are already starting to do stupid shit right now.
Yeah.
But they need to come up with something different because like, dude, the whole remastered. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, it's almost like they have no idea what to do anymore. And they're just like, hey, let's just remaster this one. Hey, let's remaster this one. Hey, let's remaster this one. And I don't know. To me, when I hear something that's being remastered, they're grabbing old code. If you want to go to the nitty gritty stuff, they're grabbing old code and just updating it to the new stuff. But the groundwork is all done. So you guys have hired people to work on old stuff to bring it up to the new stuff, but it's the same stuff. It's literally, even if the graphics look cleaner or better, or if they add a few different missions or they're giving you more trophies or whatever, it's still the same game. And there's no innovation. There's nothing with this. So this kind of, I won't be buying it.
It just sounds like it's better graphics.
Huh?
It's using the Unreal Engine. So to me, it sounds like better graphics, maybe better AI, like NPC characters, maybe a little bit smarter.
That's what it's going to be. Just better graphics. And I'm not going to buy it. It's trash. It was good in its day. And now it's just a waste of time.
Is there any games to you that if they remastered it, you would play it?
Actually, Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
They did a whole remake of Final Fantasy VII where they took the story of how it was before. It was literally, remember the Pokemon games that when you played, it looks like you were looking downwards and the guy was like walking around like Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how Final Fantasy used to be. They made it where now when you're the character, you could actually, you're looking at it as a first person or third person, you know? Like it's completely different.
Right.
They used the same story, but created a whole brand new game. And Final Fantasy VII was such a freaking iconic game when it came out. It's one of those games that you're just like, what's the best game of all time? Final Fantasy VII is always in that conversation. You know, it doesn't matter if you have your top whatever it is, that game always comes up. And they remade it now for the PS4 and now for the PS5. And I've played that game twice, put it that way. That's how good it was, the new one. And they just added, they're adding new stuff to it though. They're making it a brand new game. Like there's this character called Yuffie. And she, it's like an expansion. You could actually play her while the main character named Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett, they're the ones that are the main three that are doing everything in the beginning of the game. And then you start meeting other characters later. They brought this other character that you're supposed to meet later. And you could play her and actually play her up to the point where she meets the rest of the team. So it's pretty much, you're almost playing like her backstory, you know, which is a brand new game. but it's all the same exact storyline, you know? But to me, when I'm playing this thing, I'm just like, dude, this feels new. It feels different. Like, of course, you know, like even with Rockstar, if they're doing this whole Grand Theft Auto, of course, the first thing we're gonna be like is like, whoa, graphics look insane.
Mm-hmm.
But the game feels different. Even though it's the
100%.
same story, it
100%.
feels way different. And yeah, Final Fantasy is a game that they did remake, and it's out now. If I were to have to pick another game from back in the day that they should bring back and redo, I would say Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal was fun.
It was fun. If they could bring Road Rash back, that was the
Right.
motorcycle game.
Yeah.
But see, those are games that are not like storyline. It's more of
Mission
like
based.
yeah, missions, you're fighting
Yeah.
against people, you're racing, you know,
Yeah.
you do a couple stuff here and there and you're done. And maybe I'll play it later. It's like Fortnite. You could jump in a game, play, shoot, you're done with your match, you're done with your match.
Yeah.
You know, with that one, it's I don't know. Here's a new one. Tomb Raider. You know how they keep making new games?
Yeah.
So they have this new Tomb Raider remastered something. I forget what it's called. And the girl is in like Latin America. And they had it as a free game. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check this game out. Love
Is it
it.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Cool.
Love it. I love the game, dude. I'm just like, dude, this game is awesome. I finished Oddworld. I'm like, cool, I'm done with Oddworld. But there's certain games that I think,
No.
I don't know. It's got to be different.
When I first started gaming on the PC, I would play games like Dune, Warcraft, and I actually lost interest in StarCraft, and I lost interest when they switched it up from the over the head to the third person or first person. So they went into like Warcraft, and you were actually the character playing the games or whatever. I lost interest. I actually some of my favorite games is Dune 2, StarCraft, and Warcraft 2 and 3. After Warcraft 2 and 3, I lost interest, man. But maybe because I'm just old school like that, right? So I don't know if I would enjoy a remake where you have the overhead view, you build your base. Like that was all kind of cool. Maybe that's more meant now for the mobile phase, because that would be a lot easier to do on a mobile interface, I think, now these days, right?
See, if they did, think about this, because I'm a big fan of those games too.
Right.
And I hated World of Warcraft.
I hated World of Warcraft too.
Oh, hated it.
I lost interest. I just dropped the game completely.
Warcraft 3 and the expansion set,
100%. Fantastic.
Dude,
like randomly I'll be going through my day-to-day life and it'd be like glittering prizes. Every little thing she does. All the cheat codes. I still remember all the cheat codes.
Mind over power. Power overwhelming. Invincible. Dude, I was with Warcraft 3. I was so pumped about that game. I played it several times in all the different difficulties. And I was like, dude, when they announced World of Warcraft, I'm like, yes, Warcraft 4, you know? Like they're going to continue this thing. And then I started seeing some trailers and I'm just like, okay, first person or third person, whatever it is, like you're actually the person now, then
yeah.
Okay, I could see it. Okay. And then when they're just like, oh, you can go online and play other people and you can go on all these quests and all these missions and do all this and all that. And I'm just like, I'll try it. I started like slowly like backing up, like, wait a minute, this isn't okay. I'll give it a chance. I played maybe, and you know what? I gave it a really good chance. I played it for a week, every day for a couple hours. I was grinding, I was doing everything, and every time I stopped playing it, I'm just like, I didn't feel the same like with Warcraft 3, you know, or StarCraft. I'm just like, why is it?
I'm not a huge fan of building up a character, like leveling up a character. I like leveling up your base. You know, you can create different things from the base, but once they started getting involved into games that were like, oh, if you do this, your character will level up and you can do this with your like I just want pure strategy with the bases and the actual people and how to deploy them. Like that's where I loved it. But once they got into this whole thing where you can level up your character, I was like, I'm done with you guys now. It's very popular, very popular. There's a lot of the games like that are it's just not for me.
Yeah, me neither. So I got two things.
Yeah.
You didn't mention Warcraft 1.
That was DOS based, bro. Like that was straight DOS.
Did you beat it? Is the question. Did you beat the human side and did you beat the orc side?
I was always orcs. And the thing was, Warcraft 1, I actually didn't have a PC and I only played when I went to my cousin's house. So I can't say that I beat it, but I enjoyed playing it.
So a lot of people did not beat Warcraft 1. The human side was really easy to beat. Well, I wouldn't say really easy. Like once you got to the last 3 levels, the orcs were just like stupid hard.
Yeah.
But it was a lot easier than playing the orc campaign. So I beat the human side and I started playing the orcs. And there was a part where I already know, or I already knew at that point, I'm just like, I know the powers that the humans get as you start leveling up.
As you level up, yeah.
So I get to the 3rd to last level, and the humans are starting to use their invisible cloaks.
Invisible cloaks, yeah.
And as soon as they come up and hit you, then they appear. But when they're there, all your archers and everybody, it's too late. They're already right in front of you.
Right.
So I would be like, it took me forever to beat the orcs. I was so frustrated, but I finally did beat it on the orc campaign.
Yeah.
It was just impossible, you know? Warcraft 2 came out with their expansions. I'm like, cool, played it, beat it, had fun. Warcraft 3 came out, played it, beat it, had fun. Just Warcraft 1 orc campaign was just freaking unbelievable. And I got super into StarCraft. I'm actually I actually haven't beaten the new StarCraft. I'm probably about 50% or 60% done.
Yeah.
It's just been one of those games that I'm just like, okay, let me just jump in. I got some time. Let me jump in and play.
Yeah.
And then I got to take myself off, or if not, I'm just going to be stuck on the damn thing, you know?
Right.
But it's been taking me so long because I've been so crazy. You know, you and me have been just busy with stuff.
Yeah. This month is absolutely insane.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw, here's my second thought. I'm going to throw this at you. See what you think. Have you ever played like God of War?
That's a PlayStation game. I've seen people play it, but I've never played it myself.
Okay. Halo.
Yeah.
Okay. What if, because I know you're a StarCraft fan, and I'm going to use StarCraft because it's probably the newer game out of all of them. What if they had, there's 3 campaigns. So what if they had a StarCraft game or a Halo game where it's similar to, oh boy, what's it called? Hold on. Fallout.
I've never played Fallout. I don't know what it's about.
So Fallout, it's kind of like you get stuff and it's kind of like the whole thing, like you could level up your character.
Yeah.
But it's more, instead of leveling up your character, you're more leveling up your tools.
Okay.
So you get armor, you get better guns, you get things that could see far, you get pets. You can create a robot, or you could have dogs. Like you could have all kinds of stuff. You have a base too. So what if they had a story mode where instead of building a base, you went on missions? Now, I'm going to use one very specific thing from a StarCraft. If you remember, sometimes you were when you were playing the human campaign, and you're inside of a facility and you're going through the map. It's almost like a puzzle, like a maze, and you're trying to rescue people, and you're trying to hunt somebody down, and you're trying to get some papers or unlock something, and you could use ghosts, and then ghosts come in there with you and stuff. what if they did the game something similar to that, but in an open world that has an ending to it? Not Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, where it's like endless forever. And you're not building your character, you're building items.
It's crazy because out of, the games that I mentioned, my favorite one out of those ones was one called Dune, and not very many people played Dune. It was not a very popular game, but I loved the whole concept of it. And there was the story of, actually there's been books and movies done on it too, right? So when I think of a storyline where you complete missions and you kind of go through stuff, that's where my mind automatically goes, because you're fighting over resources on a planet, and you're completing jobs, and that creates money, and you buy stuff with like that. My whole thought process goes there. So I wouldn't mind playing a game like that. But the problem with me today is that I don't really have time for campaigns. I just jump into a multiplayer like Call of Duty and play those. But I like the concept. Like, sounds cool.
I think if it was like that, you might play it. You might play it. Yeah. Maybe. I think if they did something like that, where it's like a God of War or like a Halo, and they kept it true to what StarCraft is, but
maybe even like Assassin's Creed style. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go, like Assassin's Creed. And what would be cool was what I think what would be cool is if you could still build a base. You could build a base and you could build all your stuff like how you're doing it, and every time you build a base, you get stuff.
My son plays a game called Ark, and I'm always like, what is this game? But it's like they're cavemen and cave women, and they build a base inside of there. So it's like an open world concept, and you have different people that come in, and there's multiplayers, and there's different people on the world and stuff like that. So it's like, to me, it's like an advancement of Minecraft, because it's open world and you can build stuff and you can do all kinds of stuff. So if they did something like kind of on that concept, where there were other people on the world, and other people could multiplayer in and be in different places, and you build up, you use the resources around you, I think that's pretty cool. I think that would be interesting. I don't know if I would have the time, because this kid, I swear, it could be like 14 hours straight and he doesn't even know the sun's down. So anyways,
yeah.
Do you know who Elijah Wood is? I hear he's from Lord of the Rings. Which character did he play?
The main character.
Main character?
Yeah.
So Elijah Woods thinks Grand Theft Auto would make a great TV show.
What? No.
So have you ever watched this YouTube channel, Hot Wings? It's actually really, really cool. They've had a lot of people on there, like MKBHD. Like, I seen The Undertaker was on there. Like, a lot of cool people go on this YouTube channel, and all they do is try different hot sauces at different Scoville levels.
Yeah.
And they ask them really intriguing questions as they go. So it's pretty entertaining. Anyways, he commented on several video games that might make quality adaptation into film, with Grand Theft Auto arriving at the top of his list. It said, where does it say here? Evans asked about what games the series, the franchise, might make best suited for adaptation into films. He immediately jumped into the universe of GTA, noting that Vice City and GTA 5 specifically would make a great backbone for a TV show, especially considering that Vice City is already partially based off the popular 80s series Miami Vice, and isn't too far stretched to see it hit serialization.
I think there's a lot of shows already out there, that is kind of like, you got murderers or people who stealing cars or gangs and stuff like that kind of do that, like, Hawaii Five-0. You got there's just several shows like that where you got the good guys and the bad guys, and the good guys are trying to catch the bad guys. That style though, I don't know. I don't think I would be down to watch something like that. It would like it would have to be the perspective of the bad guy the whole time. You know what I mean?
The bad guy?
Yeah, because Grand Theft Auto, you play the bad guy. You play the guy who steals the cars and who shoots people and takes all these missions and tasks, and you're working for a drug lord or whoever, and so you kind of have to play. Not play. You kind of have to. The show would have to be on the perspective of that dude, and most TV shows. All TV. I'm trying to think of a TV show that plays a perspective of a bad guy. But the closest thing I could think of a perspective of a bad guy is like what, Scarface,
I guess.
Goodfellas, The Godfather. It's like those mafia types, because that's kind of what it is. But he's pretty much talking about turning like one of those movies into a TV show. I don't know if I would be down with that.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? It would have to have some sort of comedy of some sort. It would have
100%. I agree with you 100% there. There has to be comedy, and it has to be stereotypical comedy. I want some raw, like urban stereotypical comedy.
Yeah.
Like some like the modern millennials wouldn't appreciate some of the jokes. Like, I want that.
Yeah, and I don't know if that would. I don't know how that would cut through with people. And you know what? It would have to be like a Hispanic dude, or I don't know. Like if it was a white guy, I don't know if I would be too intrigued with it, and then people might be like, oh, racist and this and that. Hispanics are more lean back with it. They're like, whatever, I'm a beaner. Who gives a flying F, you know?
Can you think of a Hispanic actor that would be good for it?
Pena.
See, I don't know who that is, but like I was thinking something like Marlon Wayans would be pretty funny.
No, hell no.
No? You need them to be more badass than that?
No, Michael Pena. He's played Ant-Man. Or not, he didn't play Ant-Man. He was in Ant-Man.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Let me see. Okay.
That's him right there. He was in Ant-Man. He was the one with the freaking trying to do the security thing.
Okay.
There he is. That's him right there. He was wearing that hat, and he was a very fast talker in Ant-Man.
Right.
He just stole Ant-Man. See, because he was just hilarious. Yeah, so if you ever watch Ant-Man again, as soon as you see him, you'll be like, oh, I know who that is.
Right.
But he is... See, Michael Pena returns to he'll be in Ant-Man 3, I'm sure. But he does his security stuff for Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, dude, the way... Actually, I think it was at the very... No, that's somewhere in the middle. Just rewatch Ant-Man. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I plan on actually rewatching a lot of the Marvel stuff. I just watched most of the Spider-Man over again. I think I have one or two left.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the first three, so I kind of didn't want to watch the rest of them.
Yeah.
The first one was okay. The second and third, I was like, meh, I don't really care.
You kind of have to watch them, though, because we don't know what's happening within the new Spider-Man movie. So you almost have to refresh yourself completely.
Yeah.
So the reason why I don't want Marlon Wayans or any of the Wayans, or no offense, anybody who's black.
Wow.
Sorry. It's the same reason why I don't want anybody who's white. Because you could only go racist to an extent without offending somebody. The thing with Hispanics, if you've noticed, we make fun of ourselves and we don't give a shit. Like George Lopez does it all the freaking time. Like a lot of comedians do. A lot of Hispanic comedians do. When it comes to white comedians or black comedians, it's always the same stuff over and over and over. And people are so sensitive now if you say something a certain way about one or the other. Even like I would say even Asians slowly are getting to that point too. But Hispanics are like the last breed that they're just like, I don't give a fuck what you say. Like, whatever. I eat tacos and burritos, and I'm gonna take a siesta. Horchata is a drink, and yeah, it's also the name of one of my aunts. You've heard of Tapatio? That's my uncle on the bottle.
I don't know, because you are involved of that like racial perspective. You have that perspective. Like for me, like I could feel like we could take a joke too, but then there's the media, right? So because we're seeing things from our own perspectives of that, that racial perspective, we feel a certain way about it. But a lot of it comes down to the media and how the media portrays it. So unfortunately, this is the world we live in.
Well, you're part Hispanic too. Well, you are Hispanic too.
I'm not Hispanic, bro.
Trinidad?
Well, yeah, but
that's in the Caribbean.
Yes, it's in the Caribbean.
Which is part of what part of the continent?
It's the West Indies.
What? West Indies?
Honestly, it's called the West Indies. The Caribbean is the West Indies.
But that's not even a continent. You're either in Central America or South America.
There's no America.
The Indies is not a continent. What continent are you from? Where are you from, Ese?
It's an island. It's not part of a continent.
The Caribbean. Oh my gosh. Let me look it up.
Yeah. What you got?
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. Look it up.
What continent is the Caribbean belong to? Caribbean, part of it is North America and majority is South America.
Oh, shit.
So you're Hispanic, Latin.
Anyways,
you're Latin.
Turn this
yes, part of the
around.
West Indies.
You see, West Indies.
It's part of the West Indies, but it's in the continent, Middle America, Central America, which means it's part of either, depending on where specifically, North or South America.
So, since we've been talking about actors quite a bit, even though this is a gaming episode, I have another one for you. And as you guys have noticed from this episode, we don't always agree on actors and characters. So, but that's okay. It's okay to have these discussions. It's okay to disagree. I wanted to know your thoughts on Idris Elba. I personally really like Idris Elba.
Who?
Idris Elba. You don't know who Idris Elba is?
No, you don't know who Michael Pena is.
Well, I've seen his face. Okay, so he was
Idris.
Who's in
Elba.
Thor? That was guarding the bridge. Of the gate. Yeah, he played Mjolnir.
Just say Mjolnir. I know who that is.
I know him as Idris Elba. I don't know.
Wasn't he in Suicide Squad?
Yep, he was in Suicide Squad. He has a very long and lengthy career. A bunch of TV shows, bunch of movies. He was in Muay Thai, kickboxing. Like, he's very skilled.
So what about him? What's your question? What do I think about him?
Yeah, like, do you have any feelings about him?
I think he is a good B-lister.
I don't know, man. To me, he's okay. Well, it depends on what you like to watch, though, right? And then that's where you base your list off of, right?
Okay, Suicide Squad, him being like one of the main actors for it, I thought that whole... Okay, let me start with this.
G.I. Joe.
Put it this way. Suicide Squad 2 grabbed a bunch of people that had or have a name but can't carry a movie by themselves. So they put a bunch of people together and made the movie flow together. I thought Suicide 2 was better than Suicide 1.
Okay.
They didn't have... I'm glad they didn't pick one person like freaking Will Smith. It's just like, dude, we don't need you, Will Smith. It's like, your character is not the best character in this squad. And then, of course, they got to push Harley Quinn. They're like, oh, look, let's put on some sexy Harley Quinn. It's like, no, she's okay. But it's like, why are you pushing Harley Quinn so hard? And this one, they kind of took Harley Quinn into her own little story a little bit, but they didn't focus on her as much, which I liked.
Okay.
With Idris Elba, I was like, okay, you could kind of see him and John Cena going back and forth. John Cena's not an A-lister.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree with
He's,
that.
he's not an A-lister. He's barely making his way into the movies, and he's doing really good. He's actually doing pretty good, But the way I saw that movie is they had several Polka Dot Man. I forgot who his name was, but he's been in several movies.
Yes, he has.
The first guy, freaking he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he died. Peter Quill's father or fake father.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name.
He always calls him boy.
Oh,
Yondu.
Yeah.
Yondu. I can't remember his name, his real name, but he was there in the beginning. I was just like, oh, dude, he died real quick. I'm like, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that whole squad was gonna die real quick. Right. But the way they did Suicide Squad, I felt, was they tried to bring a bunch of B-listers who cannot carry a movie by themselves. Like Mjolnir, he couldn't carry Thor. So, and that wasn't his role either. His role was just to be just that guy.
He was the guardian.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. He was a bad guy. But like, I'm just looking at some of the movies that he's been, and there's not a movie in here that I can see. Like, he's been in a lot of good
movies. Yeah,
a lot of good movies, but he's never the lead actor, is what I'm saying.
Right. And I guess that's funny because the article I'm referring to that I'm going to mention in a minute, he's not the lead actor. So I guess that kind of plays into that as well. But what did you think about Sonic? Did you watch the Sonic movie?
The first one? Yeah.
So Idris Elba is going to be playing Knuckles.
He's going to be doing the voice?
He's going to be doing the voice, yeah.
That's cool.
So Knuckles is going to be in the second Sonic movie. I thought the first one wasn't bad. I always enjoy Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what he does, he's a genius. Like, you can't, like, Jim Carrey made a living being 100% himself, and nobody can kind of play the roles. So like, you have your Robin Williams, you have your Jim Carreys, you have your few iconic people that you really have to double think, if you were a really talented actor, could you fill a role like that? Like when they said that they were going to be remaking Aladdin, right? Who the hell was going to play the genie? And I thought it was going to be terrible. I didn't think I was going to like it. Then I watched it with Will Smith in it, and you have to watch it as a completely different movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So Jim Carrey to me has that kind of legendary aspect to it. No matter what he's played, it's always been fantastic to me. There's a couple that are super corny, but sometimes it's good to watch a movie like that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to it because, like I said, I actually enjoy Idris Elba. I do enjoy the way that he acts. I think his voice is going to be interesting to hear as Knuckles. I don't know. I can't picture Knuckles' voice in my head.
Yeah, me either.
So I'm curious to see how the personality is going to come through.
He's been in a couple voices. He was in Finding Dory, and he was in Zootopia.
Okay, Zootopia was a very good voiced CGI.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's for me, Sonic 1 was okay. I think they did a good job with it.
It had a good buildup though, because at first it was like they created a trailer and the whole internet lost their shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little bit like, well, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't hate Sonic 1.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see what they do with him and Knuckles. So yeah, it's interesting that he's not the lead guy again.
Again, yeah. And well, I think he's talented, like super talented to take on a lead role. He just has to be given more opportunities, I think.
Yeah, he needs more work.
Yeah.
He's good, but he's not.
He gets a lot of work, but he's not getting a lot of A listing work. Like
Yeah.
you can see his list there. There's a lot of shit on his resume. Like a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I could name some of it. So as you guys know, Suicide Squad. He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
The Dark Tower. I haven't seen that one yet. It's on my list. The Mountain Between Us. It looks like the Dark Tower and the Mountain Between Us looks like he's on the posters, so he might be one of the lead guys. Of course, Thor's all of them. Obsessed, Mandela, The Office, Zootopia, Pacific Rim, Cats.
It's a lot of big movies.
The new ones, yeah, The Jungle Book, Finding Dory, Ghost Rider, Star Trek Beyond, Prometheus, American Gangsters.
These are all big, big shit.
28 Weeks Later. Yeah, these are all like big time movies. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm like I said, to me, he's not a A-lister. He's good, but I think he needs like the right. And I'm pretty sure some of these movies he might have been like, I'm just looking at right now. It's called The Take, No Good Deed, The Dark Tower, The Mountain Between Us. It looks like those 4 movies, and actually Obsessed. It looks like those 5 movies he might have been the lead person, but those 5 movies are not like Thor. They're not like Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. They're not like Pacific Rim. They're not like.
And then the problem is with a lot of the ones you mentioned, like Marvel, like Fast 9 or Fast and Furious, those are seasoned franchises that already have their main characters established from years ago. You know what I mean? And he entered the Marvel universe as a character that was killed off. So I don't like, who knows with the multiverse if they're going to bring Mjolnir back as a main character going forward, doing something different, and he could play a bigger role, or if he gets reinvented as a new character. Who knows, right? It is.
I think he'll get his chance soon. I think because the way he's been surrounding himself with all these great movies, I think what's going to happen is he's going to catch a break and get a movie that is just going to be great. It's just, what is it and when is it going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see.
For sure. So the next one's kind of, I don't know, lighthearted, funny, whatever, but it's not. When I first saw it, apparently it's a hashtag that's trending on Twitter. And the first thing I thought about was maybe some of the streaming content creators need to make a hashtag like this trend. So I didn't even know what it was until I read into it deeper, but I thought it was funny. And the hashtag is called Twitch Do Better. So a lot of people know Twitch to be a platform which gamers stream on. And a lot of the streaming content creators within the niche that we were originally creating in are having a lot of issues with YouTube. So I was like, do we need to create a YouTube Do Better hashtag? But this is trending because apparently there's some chat raids that are happening right now that are not appropriate, and their filters are not blocking it. So they've said they've seen a lot of conversation about botting, hate raids, and other forms of harassments targeting marginalized creators. And they're asking Twitch to do better, and they know that they need to, and they need to address the issues. So, but there's so many issues with these streaming platforms, like from content creators to the amount of garbage that we get in comments that are bots, that are spam, that are all kinds of stuff. And speaking specifically about YouTube, I hate to keep beating this dead horse, but speaking specifically about YouTube is there's nobody to talk to about these issues. And that we have to make, like, if you click on Twitch Do Better, like, I don't know how many tweets you're going to find. You know what I mean? Like you're going to find thousands of tweets. But in order for us to make a difference with these platforms, we really do need the support of the community. We have to create hashtag movements, which is stupid. I hate it. I hated saying those words. We have to create hashtag movements. Like that bothers me. But it feels like that's the only way that we get change.
Yeah.
Like you and I are part of a content creators group with, Tech Doctor UK, Lee TV, Doc Squiffy, Kevin Porteous. There's a bunch of us that are in a group together. And majority of the conversation is us getting strikes and YouTube not listening and us trying to reword the same shit that we keep telling them and them just continuously not listening to us.
Yep.
And that's because it's just us. So people were able to get Twitch's, how do I say it, awareness by causing a hashtag movement. I still hate saying that. A hashtag movement is it's such a cringe like word statement to me. Like it bothers me. But it's the only way that it seems like these platforms are going to listen to us. So I saw this. I wanted to throw it at you, kind of get your thoughts on it. But this one is not specifically about, issues between the creator and the platform particularly. It's more about the trolling, the harassments and all that kind of stuff, trying to get more protection for the creator from trolls. Now that's cool, but there's so much going on in regards to what we've seen with YouTube that I think that, I'm going to ask you, do you think that a hashtag movement needs to be created so that we can get awareness from YouTube?
Yeah. I think YouTube is doing a horrible job right now in addressing a lot of stuff. I think, like their whole thing is it's literally a copy paste. Go check our terms and service.
Yep.
Go, make sure you read this, or it's kind of, there's no way that there's certain YouTube content creators out there that are trying to do good. Yep. And all we need to do is we need to find out, like, give us some clarity. What specifically are you telling us you don't want us to do? All of a sudden they flip a switch and they start striking old videos. And it's just like, but why? You guys were okay with this a year ago and now you're not.
And all they tell us is that it's dangerous. And we're like, how is it dangerous? These are applications that are in, the app stores that you guys approved to be in your app store. So it's just, there's such a breakdown in communication. I've said it before, there's so many channels with 100,000 subscribers out there. Your channel was obviously one of them. And, one of the goals as a smaller creator like myself, because I never got to that 100,000 plateau, that peak, whatever you want to call it, or not plateau or peak, because you never want to stop there. Sorry, that achievement, that's a better word to say.
Milestone.
They say, milestone. They say that you get a representative. But the representative from every single content creator that I've talked to is absolutely useless. It would be so much better if those representatives taught you how to be monetized better, how to stay in the guidelines, like focus on that, because it's better for everybody. It's better for you. It's better for the platform. You make more money. The platform makes more money. Advertisers will pay more because you're creating content that's more in that niche. You know what I mean? That's more appropriate and advertiser friendly. So I just think that there's so much ways that YouTube could be spending the money that they're making, the billions that they're making a day, because they are. I don't even, like, you can argue whatever you want, but they have 1 billion YouTube channels. And even if you have, 1,000 subscribers, you're monetized now, you just don't make the money for it. They do.
I think they definitely need they need to start listening, because it's either you, if you don't listen, there's going to be another platform that's going to come around. With MySpace, a lot of BS was happening through MySpace, and then Facebook was born. Stuff started happening on Facebook, and then Twitch was born. And then now, then Instagram came out, and now TikTok came out. There's like all these alternative platforms. And right now, YouTube's the biggest one. And to be honest, YouTube's really the only one to do what they're doing with the videos and stuff. And I've said this multiple times. What Amazon needs to do is they need to create a content creator area just like YouTube and have a platform where they can get monetized, they could do videos, it can go viral, it could do pretty much everything that YouTube is doing, except it's on Amazon. Amazon has movies. If you have Amazon Prime, it's kind of like YouTube Red. Amazon has the platform to do it. I think Amazon just needs to do it because YouTube needs that punch in the gut. YouTube's not taking care of their content creators. YouTube doesn't care about their content creators. They're not spending the time. Like if they're gonna waste their time, and I'm gonna capitalize the word waste. If YouTube is wasting time copy pasting a tweet to YouTube and to respond, and even if it's not a copy paste, if they're typing it, but if they are wasting their time on Twitter, if YouTube, if Google, if you're paying somebody to do that, you're just wasting resource money, big time, because they're not helping nobody. And I get it that they might get like 1,000 or thousands of messages a day. There's no excuse. If you're replying to a tweet, it needs to get handled properly. It needs to get looked properly. And then it needs to be addressed properly. Like actually teach, because what is happening to me is happening to other people. Mm-hmm. And if they don't address the situation, it's going to continue to happen to other people. And that's the shit that pisses me off.
It's a compounding issue, right? You're creating more work for yourself. So yes, you may look at, I have so many, tweets or so many messages or so many issues in my queue. I just need to get through them. But there's a proper way of resolving something so that it's actually resolved and, bringing your queue down versus just recycling it and just adding it back to the bottom of the queue. Because when you don't complete something properly, any management job I've had, you don't just look at how quickly can I get through something. There's quality as well. You know what I mean? You got to look at both. But, we've talked about the issue with YouTube lots, and, we've talked about Amazon and how it should be the next rival. And I will continuously say that Amazon needs to be the next rival to YouTube, and they have a platform already. But what Amazon needs to realize is, do you remember when Twitch first came out? How did they gain popularity? They went over to YouTubers and they started paying them to come over to their platform. Right. So when you move a content creator with millions of followers to another platform, then people move. It's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was on YouTube. He was everywhere else. And then he got a specific deal to go to Spotify. So if you're looking for him, he's only on Spotify. Who's the other one? Howard Stern. Howard Stern, big following, right? If you want to find Howard Stern now, where you got to go? You got to go to, oh man, why am I drawing a blank? That's satellite radio.
XM radio.
XM radio. You got to go there, right? That's how you make movements. You can spend all of this money on advertising. You can spend all of this money and make your platform the best that it's ever going to be. But unless you can move the traffic, then it's pointless. And the only way to move the traffic is to move the people that make the traffic. Right. Yeah. And as much as we want to say we have a following compared to the everyday daily traffic to YouTube, we're like a drop in a bucket. Like we're nothing. You know what I mean? So they got to take some of these bigger content creators away from, like, it makes so much sense for me for Amazon to steal all of the tech channels from YouTube. Like, think about it. They're already using Amazon affiliates. They could build that right into the chat. They could build it right into the comment section.
All those products, they could just link all the videos to it directly.
Right. Like, it makes so much sense.
I know, even if you want to say like, well, Twitch is like that. Twitch does something like that. Well, Twitch is basically all live stuff and basically gaming stuff. They need an actual library. Like YouTube has a library where you could find all of our archive stuff, like stuff that we've posted a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Amazon owns Twitch.
Right.
So like the backbone is all there, but I don't want it to be under the Twitch brand. I want them to use the marketing they did to build Twitch to implement it into the actual Amazon Prime platform. Like that's what I would want to see. And I think that there's so much potential. There's so much, there's so much good things that could come out of that from both the consumer and the retail level.
Yeah, yeah. I really do hope Amazon listens and does something, because it's just I don't know. The whole thing with YouTube just gets under my skin, and it's just like, you guys aren't helping the everyday person, and you guys aren't spending the time. And I don't know, maybe YouTube has gone so big that it doesn't matter how many people they lose, because there's going to be more people that comes back. But I think what needs to happen is, maybe we do need to make a YouTube movement, or a Twitter hashtag movement of some sort.
Hashtag movement.
You know what I mean? Just something
Yeah.
where there's so many people complaining. Because if you go on Twitter, there's a lot of people complaining.
Yes.
But Susan Wozniak, or whatever her name
Shit.
is, she ain't doing shit. She doesn't reply to nobody. She just sits there at the top and collects her paycheck and says, "Hey, like once a week, hey, I just had this interview with this person. Check it out." It's just like, dude, you're not helping nobody, and you're not teaching nobody. So what are you doing? And what's YouTube doing? What's your quality control doing? You guys aren't doing crap. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen is, more and more people are going to start rolling on this bandwagon. They're going to get fed up. And there's been some, like you said, there's been some big YouTubers that have left and won't come back. I think it's going to get to the point where it's just going to get so big that, I don't know, maybe it will catch Amazon attention and be like, dude, we need to absolutely do something about this. Or maybe one like Rumble will pick up steam and actually be better. I don't know. I don't know how this looks like in the future, but somebody needs to do this. Somebody needs to step in and do something now. We'll see.
I got 3 more topics, and I'm thinking we're going to go for about 25 more minutes. So let's see how it goes. So we talked about Warcraft. Are you familiar with Warhammer?
Mm-mm.
So, well, if I tell you what they look like, they were like these little characters that look like the orcs that people would paint. If you ever went to like hobby stores, you would see like little orcs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen them, but I know what you're talking about.
So Warhammer is starting a new subscription streaming service, and it's coming to iOS, Android, and smart TVs for $6. So I always thought that this was a lot like Warcraft. It had like humans and orcs. Yeah. So I don't really have much to say about this, because I wasn't big on it. I was wondering if you knew about it, but if you didn't, we'll keep it rolling. It says Games Workshop is preparing to launch Warhammer Plus, a niche subscription streaming service for fans of the sprawling, lore-dense Warhammer universe, or sci-fi world of Warhammer 40,000 and fantasy-selling Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Warhammer Plus will not only be available on iOS and Android through a number of dedicated apps, but also be available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku services. A launch comes rather awkward times for Games Workshop, given some fans are currently boycotting the firm after a recent change to its intellectual property.
Wait, hold on. What is this for? Is it a streaming service?
It's a streaming service.
What are they going to be playing?
I know them from creating characters like this, and people would buy it and they would paint them. Like,
what are they going to play though?
Well, they also have books, so I'm guessing that they're creating content now. So like, let me see. If I type in
this won't last.
Hammer.
This won't last. It won't last because if they're going to have a streaming service, that means they need to make movies and TV shows. And if you're going to go with a $6 price tag on there, that means you have to have a whole freaking library of stuff. You're going to be competing against Hulu, Disney, HBO. Like you're going up against companies that have all this stuff. This is not going to last. Someone's going to buy them out and include them into their package somewhere.
It's almost like, so it's twofold. They have a really big following specifically to their niche, right? And people who love their stuff really love their stuff. But I haven't heard about them since I played Warcraft. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard about them in a very long time. But the sad part of it is, if they charge any less than $6, then they don't really make the money because they don't have the traffic. You know what I mean? They're not going to pull millions and millions of subscribers like Disney and Netflix and, you know, Hulu and all those places. So, you know, Disney is able to charge a fantastic price because they have a crazy following, right? Mm-hmm. So the unfortunate event is, if they charge any less than $6, they fail. If they charge any more than $6, they fail. If they charge $6, they're probably still going to fail.
I think they failed before they even started. It ain't gonna last. Whatever they're doing, what's gonna happen is they're gonna bundle up with somebody else, and you're gonna get it for free.
Maybe they're looking for that deal to buy them out. But
my mic totally fell off.
Yeah, so that was a really quick one. We'll move on to the next one. I thought this was pretty cool. Let's get your mic back on. But this, I think, is pretty freaking cool because I have the new 3090, which is a massive graphics card. You have a 2080, and it's a big graphics card as well, right? Look at this graphics card. NVIDIA's tiny RTX A2000 GPU. It can fit into a small form factor computer. So when I see this, I automatically go to, I can build a media center PC that can fit anywhere. But not only that, this has the power to game and game sufficiently. Like, I was building, I know that I put out a video on a media center PC that I built, and I used an AMD APU with the graphics built in, right? And that computer isn't meant for gaming, right? An APU, you're not really going to get any kind of real good gaming out of it. But looking at something like this actually gets me really excited. And the first thing I wanted to know is, can I mine cryptocurrency on this?
I knew you were going to say that.
Right? So, you know, I got to ask these questions. So generally, when we look at mining cryptocurrency, we want a minimum, personally for myself, of 6 gigs of VRAM when it comes to these graphics cards. And some algorithms or coins you can mine with 4 gigs. So the first thing I did was scroll down here and see that it's coming with 6 gigs of DDR6 VRAM. So can I build a little media center PC that fits like in a little tiny form factor that can mine cryptocurrency? Yes, I can. And I'm excited. I would like to buy this and build a little tiny computer that's going to be both for crypto mining and for media center PC, because our media center PCs, when we build them, it doesn't mean that they're being used constantly, but they're always on. Because when we go to watch something in our home, entertainment spaces, we want to access it right away. So this makes it very small, very compact, and dual purpose that pays for itself. So I'm super excited to see what this is all going to be about. I don't know if you can mine with the Quadro cards, but I would definitely be looking more into this and researching it. Even if you can't mine with it, then this brings gaming into a very compact world. Like, that looks slick. I think it looks slick, man. Like, I'm excited for these.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It doesn't have a price tag on it.
I haven't got that far in the article, but it only consumes 70 watts of power.
I'm pretty sure it'll be able to do mining.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure it will. 450?
450, yeah.
In
October 450. That's not bad. Like, I understand that the 3060s are a little bit more than that, but we're also looking at the size and how compact it is and what you can do with it, right? So I'm super excited for this. I saw this and I was like, this is cool. So it'll bring gaming to people that don't have very big spaces, because not everybody can, fit a giant PC on their desk, right? Yeah. Not everybody can do that. And not everybody has the price tag to pay for some of these top of the line graphics cards today. So this is at $450, a really reasonable price.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I think that's cool. So
you better pre-order one, so that way when it comes in, you can start testing it out.
I know that would be cool if I did some videos on that. Mm-hmm. I got to look into it. For sure. And only at 70 watts of power sounds really cool. So I'll be looking into it for sure, for sure. I only have one more thing, and it's not really gaming related, so I wanted to end with it. Razer, which is a gaming company, they make accessories and whatnot. We've tried a couple of their products. Razer and a company called Clearbot is developing an AI robot, artificial intelligence, to clean the ocean. It's interesting that Razer's getting involved, but you can see that it's branded with both Razer's logo there and Clearbot's logo here. But it says that it was designed by Razer. So really interesting stuff. Apparently, Razer has some kind of green initiative going on to offset, I guess, their carbon footprint. I guess everybody's trying to do something like that these days. So the way that it works, I'm going to play a quick. Let me kill the sound here, so I'll show you right about here. So this was the original Clearbot design. And this is the conveyor belt here. Let me make this. Can I make this bigger?
No, you're good.
You good?
Yeah, that's good. So it goes around and it just starts picking up trash.
Yep.
The problem is that most trash
It's at the bottom.
Is at the bottom. Yeah, some trash might be floating, but you don't see trash really floating at the very top unless you're at the shoreline, and that thing is not meant for the shore. It looks like it's meant for the ocean.
So
like
I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
I'm sure that there's a lot that we don't actually see ourselves. You know what I mean? Because what do they say? Like 90% of the ocean is undiscovered. Like we don't even we haven't been there. We don't know anything about it. We haven't built an Atlantis yet or whatever, so we don't live in the ocean.
Yeah.
Here's a quote from them. It says, "We're extremely happy to have the opportunity to work with a startup focused on saving the environment. Clearbot's unique AI and advanced machine learning technology will enable and power governments and organizations around the world to broaden their sustainability efforts. We urge other innovative startups to reach out to Razers for collaboration." So maybe there are companies out there that are trying to get, debris and garbage and waste from the bottom of the ocean. Well, if there are out there, they need to reach out to Razer because it looks like Razer's funding and developing, trying to offset their carbon footprint. So that's cool. At least they're trying something, right?
Yeah.
They say do something. Stop talking. Do something.
Do something.
So that's all I really had for today. It's just like I said, it was kind of like all random, kind of all over the places. We had, GTA, we had Fortnite, we had Sonic, we had some movie related stuff, we had some hobby related stuff like Warhammer. I'm not really sure if we see that going to be successful or not. I would be interested to know how big their fan base is still around and if it's actually going to be sustainable. We're a little bit skeptical at this point, but I don't wish their demise vindictively.
Yeah. So we'll see. A lot of cool stuff, man. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Anything you got to say before we start wrapping it up then?
As I always say, man, thanks to all you guys that have been listening, that have been watching, that have been supporting. We've been getting a fantastic turnaround when we both do our live streams Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we've also been going live, doing live recording sessions. This month has been a little bit difficult for us to get time to do some of the recording sessions for the podcast. So we turn it into a live on the fly recording. And the only way to get, first access to that is really be subscribed to both the YouTube side and the audio side. So make sure that you're following us everywhere that you possibly can. Your likes, your subscriptions, your reviews really goes a long way to helping viewers like yourself find the podcast and enjoy the content that we continuously put out every week. You never know what we're going to be talking about, who's going to be on the show, and where the show is going to go, because lately the show has been going some very interesting places, and we've been, having a lot of fun with it. So make sure that you continue to do that and that we appreciate everybody for their support.
For sure. You know, it'd be really interesting is if we can go on live on YouTube and on the audio side, both at the same time. Maybe something we could look into for later in the future. So that way the people who listen to audio get to listen to it first.
Right.
So yeah, stay tuned. You never know who's going to be here. We have a lot of stuff coming. It's hot this summer. It's stupid hot. I hate it. Hopefully it cools down pretty soon. And yeah, just make sure you guys still stay healthy. A lot of crap happening out there still. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care, guys.
Peace.
Peace out, everybody. Take care.